Hey everybody, we'll be starting in a little bit here. I'm just posting up and getting people in through Twitter to make sure everything's good to go. We're going to change the background here today on the show, and our main goal today is about 2 hours long. We're going to be going into Adobe XD and doing the overlay layout, the process of how things are going to work from the talk show, working through everything that needs to be done, and adding all of those things that are needed to make sure that the show runs like it's supposed to. So I'm super excited to do this. Like I said, about 2 hours long. So get your notes ready, sit down, let's chat, and let's do some design days here in about 6 minutes. Well, what is up, everybody? How are we doing today? We're continuing our design work for Corpse Talk. You can see what we've done so far. We've done a decent amount. Yesterday, we dove through everything kind of like overlay based and what I want the overlays to look like and all that wonderful jazz. And I'm pretty happy with it. It turned, whoops. Oh, I didn't mean to close that. It turned out pretty well. I feel like we kind of hit a good stride for what I'm looking for. Let's see if I can get this to play. There we go. This was the overall design pages that we worked on. Specifically, really enjoyed when we started getting down into the actual design elements of this. And we really started kind of going through the idea of using Old English and black letter fonts, along with the bright colors that you see in Mork Borg, which is the rule set that we're going to be using for the talk show. And then doing some rough placements, possible panels. I haven't decided if I'm doing frames, what I want to do. Probably going to do masked pieces for scenes. I think it'll look better with some movement between. And you can kind of see all this. These are all influenced by the colors found in Mork Borg. Like almost all of it is. Let me finish posting this really quick while we're talking. So I want to do a couple things today. I want to get started on what the overlay layout process is going to look like. Let me post this. That looks good. Corpse Talk. Done. Let me pop out our chat window here. What's up, Nessie? Hi, Amalith. I have some super special stuff that I can't really talk about yet. That is the cover of Heretic. That's actually one of their books. I didn't do the art for that. It is a style of art that I do, but I did not do that art. That is, if you're talking about this piece here, this is from the cover of Heretic. And I did all the font work and stuff for it and some color overlay stuff, but that is the cover of the book for the prayer for Heretic. But I'm going to keep with that art style, art theme for this, that heavy black ink, gritty, one directional kind of shading design for what they're doing. I'm keeping that style. But this is all the Mork Borg peeps. And we went through all these design pieces. We finally got down into like this area where we started doing single cam, deciding on oranges, how to place our own branding in for the companies that I'm gonna be interviewing. This is a green from inside the book. This is the two-tone green, the pink and yellow. This is straight out of the book. The pink and yellow is the master style. The purple, and then this is the yellow they use. I'm a big fan of this style. I like the black background piece. This is without it, just kind of a test run. This is the 2-panel with the Corpse Talk logo in the background. It's supposed to be kind of busy and over the top. This is just showing what it'd be like interviewing 2 people, myself and somebody else. This is the orange design. And then I kept going back to this. And I think I prefer this orange to this orange. I'm not sure yet. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love this. What's up, AW? I love this orange. Do you guys have a preference? Does anyone in the audience have a preference between these 2 oranges? This bright sunburst orange, or do you like this darker orange? I like both together, honestly. They look great together. Like, honestly, if I were to come to here, go to positioning, go to layers, grab that blood swatch, right? If I were to change this to this orange, also looks good. These 2 tones of orange together. And that's kind of where I'm leaning. These 2 tones of orange, black and white. Predominant bright orange. This is my highlighter orange. Dark orange highlights. It's kind of where I'm leaning. We did a pink design. Looks good as well. I agree, Ness. And then I like the black as well. This looks great. Again, I think for this, though, I would change their effects so that this color here, instead of being dark, is this bright orange to fit that style, like so. I dig it. I think it looks good. You know what I mean? So for the show, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. I want a black background for this. I'm going to delete these out. Like so, right? I'm going to go up here and grab... let's go all the way up here. I really need one of these splash pieces. I'm going to go like this. Right? And then I'm going to push this back behind everything. To about here. And delete this because we don't need it for the show. I'm going to change this tonal, this bright color piece really quick. And I'm going to get a background for the show while we're sitting here. Like, I want something that fits what we're doing. So I'm going to grab this eerie green, black, green, this, yellow, red. I'm going to pick a color here that I like. I think I like the gray the most. I need a really dark gray. Like this, okay? I know I download this image and we're going to make it the background, but first I'm going to animate these. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be so there's going to be a bunch of different backgrounds. Like every page is going to be different colors. But I want one for the show right now because why not? So I'm going to do a quick animation for these. I'm going to make them... How do I want this to do this? I want these to be animated in the background. I like orange. See if I can slow this way down. That's still a little much. So I'm going to have to make a double frame piece for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to copy this frame. You can copy, right? And then I'm going to go into Canva. And then I'm going to... We're going to do a video. So create a design. And then we want to do 1920 by 1080 video. Let's just type in video. And I'm just doing a quick one here, just so I have it. Okay. And we're going to paste this in. Right? So everything's here. Okay. And then we're going to copy it all. Cut it. Go to here. Paste it again. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's just duplicate this a couple times. Control D for this. Oh, good. They kept it as a normal thing. Maybe I didn't actually. At the it says you can Control D, but apparently you cannot. So I want to make an animation cycle that's about 30 seconds. Maybe longer. I'm going to increase this to 30, right? And we're going to take this animation and we are going to do the effects, animation, and I'm going to turn off the animations on this one. And we're going to delete this frame. And this is just how you can make a really quick animation, right? And they don't, I mean, I would normally do this in Premiere or After Effects, but because I just want something from the background just to have something that moves, right? So we're gonna have a 5-second piece here and it'll kind of move, right? And then it's gonna stop and then go into here, and I'll do 30 seconds of nothing, right? I'll just sit here static, and then as soon as that static's done, it'll go right back into moving here. Right, and then for this next one, I'm going to get rid of pulse. We're going to remove animation. And we're going to remove animation, and we're going to do just here, which is the wiggle. I'm going to slow it down for this one. Right? And then we're going to duplicate this 30 again. And we're going to go into here. So you got regular, this one is the other 30. Put it past these two. And then it'll cycle these, right? And then we will delete this. And we'll go back into the first page, and we're going to play it again. And if this looks good, I'm going to download this and make it the background while we're doing our animation. So you got 30 seconds. You should go right back into just the corpse animating. And then this should 5 seconds of that, and then should go into talk animating. And then this will go right back into the static. And then when I put this in OBS, I'll put this on loop. Pretty clean, right? Pretty simple. Pretty simple. I think it is at least. All right. So now what I'll do is I'm going to export this, and you can download it. And then I don't think they have WebM. I prefer WebM for OBS, but if I can't, I'll just do it as this, and we'll download it. So while this is downloading, I'm going to turn off a Chrome. So we got a couple things to talk about today. Yeah, it's clean, it's simple, and I can animate it and make it do what I want, right? Pretty clean. So today, though, we are going to be working in XD. XD, I have a love-hate relationship with. Just like I have a love-hate relationship with Illustrator. It's a fucking nightmare of a program. I love it, though, because it lets me rapid prototype my scenes. I'll show you how I did it for... what was it? For Dragonlance, I think is what it was. And then from there, you can kind of see how I've done this, right? So we'll look at the Dragonlance overlays first. I'm gonna pull this up on screen in just a second. I've got to let it load, and you can see what I've done. And we're gonna kind of go through the same process, but it's gonna be different because this is not a multi-person show. So we got to find a way to make everything interesting, even though it's not a multi-cam show. I'll be honest, it's kind of a bitch. It's really, really kind of a bitch to do. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it yet. So I got to make a new NS scene. NS, and this is going to be app capture. I was doing. And it's just not digging me doing an app capture. Like it's acting like it's an exe, even though it's an actual thing. And last time I did this, I think I had to do a full screen cap, which I don't want to do a screen cap. I really don't want to do a full screen cap. I'm trying to think of how I can do display, but then you're going to see everything on the fucking screen, which I don't want you to have to do. That's application audio capture, which I don't need. Let me try window capture again. It just treats it automatically. Click OK. And we're going to fit to screen. It just isn't showing it. Why does it do this? I hate you so much, Adobe. What if I full screen it? No? I'm going to add it in here. We're going to see what happens. I don't think it works. I don't think it works. I think I have to do this differently. It just doesn't work. So NS app capture. Yeah, it doesn't show it at all. At all. Why? Why are you like this to me? Do you not love me? All right, well, I gotta do this the hard way. Who thought this was gonna be the pain in the butt part? You know what I'm saying? If anyone works in Photoshop or Adobe, you'll notice that this is a common fucking problem. We're gonna have to do a window capture instead. Window capture. Do I have a horizon? Let's delete this. I know you guys can't see anything yet. I apologize. I know you guys can see it all. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm going to reduce this. And we're gonna move it over to the other window. And we're gonna see if it crashes. Because it is a common issue that when you switch it's not gonna work. So it's really hard to put OBS in a vertical window because there's so many frames. The UI does not like to reduce smaller unless you open it on this side. The only way I've ever had success in this, let me try now, is if I rearrange all of the windows, which is super frustrating, and I really don't want to do that. Hmm. I'm gonna put the vertical in here. I'm gonna stack controls and audio mixer. Dang, there's just no way to do it. Oh well. I'm gonna have to do it this way, unfortunately, everybody. I'm sorry. Basically, you can see everything, right? But you can't see this unless I do it. I don't have a way to change this. So you can see it peeking out over here, which I don't want. I might have to come back in. I may have to just come back in. It's the only thing I can think of. Well, what we can do is this. I can't see chat then. All right, buddy. Give me 1 second. I'm going to Night Amalith. I'm going to reboot this so that I can start doing overlay stuff. I don't think there's another way for me to do this. It's so fucking frustrating. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to reboot this. I will be right back, everybody. This is part. Boom. All right, I'm back. So now it works. You basically, if you ever have a vertical monitor and you're normally in a horizontal UI, you have to open OBS on the left-hand side, on your vertical monitor for it to fit vertical monitor format. So we're good. We can start. We can start talking about what we want to do here. It's gonna be pretty clean. I have an idea of how I want this to look. And I got your chat up over here, so I can see you now. Night Amalith. This will be up tomorrow for you. All right. So what you see here is the original design concept for me doing OBS and doing my scenes in XD. And this is the D-Lance overlays. And you can see I have a full overlay layout for scenes by type. So I have my solo cam, my 2 cam, my 3 cam, my 4 cam, my 5 cam, and then map scenes, which is where the map is going to go. Each one is color coded. It's pretty clean. It works well. So I want to follow this concept, I think. But since I am doing a talk show, the scenes aren't going to be the same. There's no rhyme or reason for me to have a 5 cam and whatnot. And I have to use this real estate as much as I possibly can. I really, really need to make sure there is as much here as feasibly possible. Now, to do that, I'm gonna have to redesign the process of how my show structure works. I've been watching a ton of talk shows, and the things I like and don't like about them. The number one thing they do is they usually have more than 1 cam. And that more than one cam is how they do all of their scene work, right? So like one head cam, one shot head cam, one shot head cam, one shot wide cam, right? But I can't do the wide cam because someone isn't sitting here. Unless I'm doing a live show. And in live shows, I will be adding that concept in. So the question is, how do I do this without having the ability to do a wide cam? What do I do to make sure I can add that kind of real estate? You know what I mean? Like, how do I go about this? How do I go about this? Hold on here. I'm going to go to the app cam again really quick. So how do I make this a reality? All right, let's start a new one. We're just going to do a new file. Right? And notice it makes them separate too, which is fucking annoying. I fucking hate that it does this. This is ridiculous to me that it makes two versions of this. So we'll close this. We'll reopen this. So we have our full cam. How do we make this work? Well, we're going to need a starting soon. Okay, I know that I'm going to have a starting soon screen where people can submit questions in advance. That brings me to this. We're going to need to talk Corpse Talk rules, and then we're going to have Corpse Talk flow. Okay. So let's do this. This is Mem again, for those who are wondering. This is my application of choice for second brain stuff. So we're gonna return this. Uses markdown like normal. So we go boom, boom, boom. So how I know I want people to submit questions. So audience can submit questions through Discord. So we know that's going to be an option. Submit through live stream. Okay. On YT. We're not going to be doing Twitch. And then submit through socials. I think this is socials is probably gonna be X, Threads, and Blue Sky. I thought about doing just Blue Sky to help grow my numbers on Blue Sky since I'm over there now. Same name. If you guys are on Blue Sky, by the way, same name. Erik Frankhouse presents over on Blue Sky. Because X has been kind of a nightmare lately, so we'll see if they fix their stuff. So we know we need those. We're probably going to need a intermission. I'm not going to call it be right back. I'm going to call it intermission screen. And this carrier pigeon, yeah. So questions through StreamLoots. I know you're going to be able to enter the raffle through there, and you're going to help me do builds on the back end because it's a two-part show. Once a month, the audience gets with me, and they make they help upgrade the monsters and everything that's in there. We're using Amethyst maps for the first two. And then I have all the ones that are going to get added through companies that are onboarding and stuff like that. But the thing I have to do the most, and this is kind of the hard part, I want questions to be submitted in advance. I don't want to take them during the show. Now, I do not believe in giving questions to a guest ahead of time. I will give topics ahead of time, broad stroke topics. I will make sure I hit points that they think are important. I think the intermission screen is going to be play guests, ads, or slideshow, a product, right? Show treasury. And we're doing this because we got to design the overlays and like what is going to be available. Like, for example, merch. Merch will be on this screen. StreamLoots how-to video. I still got to shoot this. I need to shoot one for this show and all other shows. Because I basically have come down to 3 formats for how I use StreamLoots. And I want to make sure I'm using those formats appropriately and consistently, because I like to make sure people don't get cards wasted. I like to give them a chance to craft for craft nights. I like things to come back and have cards for those. Like, I want to make sure that they don't go to waste, right? So we know we're gonna need an intermission screen. So we'll go back over here and we'll do an intermission. Okay, important. I know without a shadow of a doubt, I need solo cam, which is just me. Solo cam me. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, I'm gonna need solo cam guest. Guest 1. And then maybe I might in the future do a guest 2. Right now, I'm not intending on doing 2 guests because the show is short unless they're in the same place. I guess I would do 2 guests if they're in the same room. That might be a rule for myself. Let's do this. Guests. 1 guest only unless the second is in the same room as the main guest. This has to do with only having 1 camera on frame. This is important. I think this is very important. All right? So I'm going to do something here really quick. We are going to turn off the app cap. The video is finished downloading. I am going to pull this over. Oops, wrong one. We're going to do overlays. I'm going to add this to our background. We are going to loop it. We're going to hit OK. And I'm going to move this all the way down to the background. And this is just because we're trying working scenes to see how they work. Boom. So now this will be in the background while we're doing stuff. And this will be a video, so I'm going to color it red. It's gray for on-computer videos. So now you can see how that works. So let me turn on our app cap again. Right, like Adam and Diana, very similar to that. Very similar. All right, so let me move this back over here. This small. Shrink it down. So we know we're going to need that. I'm going to make a little more space between these. So I think I'm going to need it. So besides intermission, we're going to need... I may need an end screen. End scroll. So we'll go back into our... I'm going to do something here. I'm going to do this. Just so I can quickly select this when I need it. So intermission, and then we're going to go here and we're going to tab it. We're going to do end scroll. Now, the reason I do that is I really want, if I can find a way to do it, on one of the Norse Foundry shows, I had made a scroll through the help of D, a buddy of mine, through Mix It Up, to have a scroll of anyone who's bought StreamLoot cards. So I kind of want to do a scroll of people who did the following. Bought StreamLoots, right? Subscribed, eventually subscribed subscribed to the EFP YT club, which is basically once we're at 500, I'll make a club for EFP. Because eventually what I want to do is the live shows are only going to be for people who are StreamLoots subscribers and for people who are subscribing on the YouTube channel. And then I'm going to pull those, I'm going to edit them into a more bite-sized one, and then re-put that out for content to cut out all of the fat. So like there's some people who love the live show format, that love to let everybody see, they like to see all the in-betweens, the shots. Like if you've ever been to a recording of Stephen Colbert or Craig Ferguson, you know there's a lot of in-between where they come and talk to the audience and stuff like that, right? Well, I want to use that in-between scene to play while that is going on. I think that would be a great way to kind of do that. I'm gonna answer this. I see someone had a question here. 1 second. Yep, correct. It'll have like layout for you, guest, web page, images, all that kind of stuff. You got it. Let's see here. Someone was asking me if I was around. Yeah, yep. Todd's shop will be on there, all that kind of stuff. That'll be in this merch rotator will be EFP, and it'll also be Todd and Cast merch. If anybody else makes merch that for EFP, those are kind of be things that are on there. Corpse Talk though may not have this part. I think it'll just be EFP merch and Cast merch. The shows he's on, I'll have them on rotation. So that's that. Guess only second time. Okay, so anyway, end scroll. I want these things on there. The other thing I want on the end scroll is next show and guest. I'm really looking to shoot. Guests for like in advance, like shoot ads. And I can do this really quickly before the show. If I preset up my overlays, I can have an ad overlay area where before the show they call in, before we go live, right, like 30 minutes before, we shoot an ad piece that's them saying something funny about the show. Or I can get a clip that's there and have it ready while this is going on, and then I can take it and add it in. So like, for example, like let's say I'm interviewing Rob Schwab. And before the show, I'm like, yo, give me the 30-second elevator pitch for Shadow of the Demon Lord or for Weird Wizard, and he blah, whatever that 30-second pitch is. And then also I need it for the messages. Like, what are you leaving? What's your next message? All right, Rob, what are you leaving for the next guy who's on the show? Because obviously you died 3 times during this. 1 to a crit, 2 to just the walk back to your body, buddy. What do you want to leave as a message for the next person on the show? And I tell him you have 25 words. Or actually, I'll have to look it up. I think it's 10 words. Like, don't touch the sword. That kind of thing. It could be whatever you want. And then I'll play that for the next person when the show starts. So I need to have that stuff ready. So shoot ads. I need to be able to shoot. This should be message to next guest. And the goal is to streamline this so that I can put together really quick cut vertical content to advertise the show. And I'm talking through the process so you all can see what I'm doing. So looking at this, we got starting soon, intermission, end scroll. We may have multiple versions of these. Maybe. I know these are going to get clustered together. I feel like I should move these up. Because I have a feeling I might get some more stuff that goes here, right? So besides that, we have the solo cam, duo cam, and then we need our duo cam, right? As well. Now, this isn't everything. I'm actually going to swap these. Boom. We're going to highlight all of these because I know there's going to be at least one more version of these. And that is solo cam map. Right? Because I got to have the map for the dungeon. Same for these. And the reason I'm doing this in advance is when I go in to do my overlay design, I have a template to work off of, and ratios to work off of. My goal for this one is to use as much real estate as I can for video. Like, I have to. It seems like if I don't do that, I would be wasting a chance to have good capture of video for the verticals. And I'm thinking through the process because my vertical videos record and clip at the same time. So I'm basically rebuilding verticals at the same time I'm building all my horizontal stuff. And if you haven't seen this before, bring it on screen for you. This is my Stream Deck, right? This is my Stream Deck. But this is, in case you missed it, this is all the buttons for Dragonlance, Green Show. This is to bring in orange guests. Okay? And if I go back and I go to orange, this is the one for orange guests. And then the orange, and this is for the green guests. Okay? This is all of the stuff that is involved in doing a 5-person slotted piece. And if you were here last time, you saw me develop this live during our design days or Chronicles of Design for Dragonlance. Right now, I'm just using this one work folder, and this is all I got in it right now, because this is just a build folder for me to make things in right now. Just so you know kind of the process behind that. Which I think works well. So let's look at this. I'm looking up a note to myself. I want to check something. Let's see here. How do I want to do this? All right. So a map each. Okay, we'll be a map each. I was looking at my notes I wrote to myself. So these will each be a map. And then we're going to start coloring these and doing all this shit too. Map. And then on top of this, we also have to have an infographic one, right? So I'm going to highlight all these again. I'm going to move it over one more time. Okay. And then this is going to be info. Because I'm going to need to be able to pop up info panels and stuff like that. You know, web browser to show things off. Pull up their Instagram for questions. Things like that. And it needs to look good. So I don't know if it's going to be in a frame or how I'm going to do that. And this program is made for doing UI layout for like phones and applications. And this would be what I'd use when using doing video games or apps for phones. There's also something called Figma that you can use, which is a free one. Again, if I'm already paying for the Adobe Suite, it's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I'm going to use. So now we're looking at literally this. And this is before we add anything. So these, while they are individual scenes, a lot of these are not going to be individual scenes. They're going to be... okay, they are fair. They're going to be more of what each thing will look like when I'm using move transitions to slide things in and out. So, I guess we start with the basics. We're going to go up top. Starting soon. Now, the first thing I do always is I go up here, I grab a piece, and normally I would add a color in. Now, because we've done so much already, we can rough this. We have all these, right? So what I can do is I can duplicate the ones I want, the backgrounds, and paste them into the show. So let's duplicate this pink one. We're going to duplicate it. I'm going to move it to here. We're going to delete the faces out of it. We're going to go to here. I know we're going to use this orange one. I'm going to duplicate this. We're going to move this here. And you'll see what I'm doing in just a second. Let's say we're going to use the yellow one. We'll duplicate it. And we'll move this over here. Just, let's say solo ones don't have the devil in it, the Grim Reaper in it, and the duo cams do. Let's just say that's what we're doing, right? And it has the words in a different spot. And let's say I want this orange one as well. I like the orange and black. So we're going to duplicate this page. And I'm going to move this down here as well. So these are all of our extras, right? This pink is the last one. This is the start of our new ones. So we're going to go through and we're going to delete the stuff that we don't want. Like so. And I'm going to download these as flats. And we're going to add them into our program that we're working in right now to make sure that we have something to work from. And we're also going to do one quick look over on this. It'll let us color pick and stuff like that as well. So the things that are missing, like we like this, it looks good. We like that, it looks good. We like this, it looks good. Now we have this one. So this one. Do I want a pink in here? I think I want to change this orange to the two oranges that we have talked about liking more. Because I think I agree with you all on this. I think this should be this bright orange. And then maybe that color swatch in the middle will be that. Yeah, and then we'll go here, and then we're going to... I kind of want to delete these. I don't think I like this being in here. Right, and I'm gonna do that with this. So maybe instead of this ghost chill, we'll do this. Problem solved, right? Okay, so now we have some good ones. I need to go into this position. I need to grab this, copy it, paste it, go into this, copy it, paste it, and we need to send it backwards. Let's go to the positions. We know we want this above all of that one. We want this one here. We want this to be the eerie green. And then we're gonna go back into positions, and we want this one to be, how do I want to do this? Probably the bright orange. And then we want to grab one more time this, and we're going to edit this, and we're going to make this dark orange. Okay, so that's duplicates. I have too many in here. Let's delete this one. Let's grab this one. Why is there so many? Aha. Well, I don't understand why it looks like this. We're going to delete this. We're going to duplicate this instead. And I'm just going to recolor this one. It'll be easier. So, right, we want black on this one. Because I think we're trying to recreate this black for a dual purpose one. We have it down here, though. I think we're good. I don't need to do it. All right, so what panel is this? Page 26. Share. Download. We're going to do JPEGs Nah, we're gonna do PNGs. PNGs. We want to do page, turn these off. We want page 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Done. And we're gonna download these really quick. And what this will do is give me pieces to put in. Yeah, I like the two oranges together a lot, Nessie. I'm with you. All part of the process, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to start blocking this out. That's the game plan. For this one, starting soon, let's just say I'm going to do thumb. I'm just going to put this here. Oops. Okay, we're just going to put it there as the starting soon. I'm going to extract all these. We're going to move these into Corpse Talk, overlays, background. Actually, we're going to do XD. And we'll put them in XD. And we're going to extract them all. All right. So now we have this kind of nice cover piece. And I'm not going to do text on this. We're just going to block things, right? So we know this is going to probably be the same for every one of these. Let's just say, because I think these will be pretty similar in style. I could close this. But if I wanted, we could say one of the corpse talks is this, right? And now I can just drop these in and notice it replaces them. Is this made to auto swap, hot swap, which is great. It makes it so much easier. But we have to design as this. We know we're going to have title bars, right? It's going to be a title. And what I do for these is I start picking colors. So I know I want all my titles to be pink. That is very recognizable. Actually, no, we know our show is gonna be a green, like eerie green. Okay, so we know all titles are this. Let's just say that's our title box, right? And then I'm gonna put one piece of text in here. It just says title. And we're gonna go like this. And we don't care about the font for this. All we care is about the readability. So we're gonna go in here and fix the readability. Right? We're like this. We know this is gonna be a title. Okay? For Corpse Talk. What I usually do is I highlight all this. I know this is gonna be center focused. And now I will group these two. And I will cut them. And we have it. They're all going to be different. I think for the intermission, this title is probably not going to be this big. I don't see the purpose in having it be like that. And I think it'll probably be in the upper left-hand corner. Right? Because we're going to have we're going to play video on here, we said. We also know we're going to need timers. So the other thing I'm going to create is a timer clock. And I'm going to do this in red. Right, but not that important. You got it. You got it. And then what I usually do is I isolate this. You double click it, cut it. And you'll see, oops, let me do that. And I isolated it, brought it to here. And now we're going to redo this as timer. And we're going to shrink it down. We're going to change this one to white to make it readable. And then we're going to group this after we center them. So we're just going to go boom, boom, and we'll group it. We know we're going to have a timer in a couple spots. So I'm going to cut it, and there'll be a timer here. We know there's timers here. I like timers to be prominent, but not in your face. I like them to serve a purpose. Usually I put a timer in the corner unless it's a big piece. So sometimes, yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to use this art for that. That's the thing. Like, really, I'll be honest with you. I should probably, you are correct. We're going to keep looking at the art. And I don't want to look at the art. I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to duplicate this one. And we are going to ditch that, and we're just going to download this one, which is page 29. That's a very good point, though. I mean, you are right. I should have thought about that because we're just going to keep looking at the art. I'm fine with these skeletons because it may not be the color we're using. I'll grab a yellow. Problem solved. So we're gonna download page 29 and 30. I'm gonna move these to the very last pages just to make sure the numbers are correct. And then we are going to share, and we're going to download, and we're gonna do PNG, and we're going to do not all, but we're gonna do these two. We're gonna do this again. And I'll replace it. Because you are correct. I think we're going to keep seeing that and go, ooh, let's use those things. Which is not what we're looking for. Extract all. All right. So now, where'd they go? That's weird. They didn't download. Show. Extract. Browse. Oh. That's why. Put them in the wrong folder. Let's drag them out of here and move them. I'm gonna do or yellow 2, and then we're gonna do orange 2. It's trying to rename them, and I don't want to do that. These can all be renamed later. I will go through and rename all files as I get into it. All right, let's try this again. Done. Let's do the orange one. Okay. Just a sample. We'll do a yellow one for the middle, and we'll do this black one for the end. Right? So now we got really bright title and designs. Okay? Good call. So I think the timer is going to be here for this one. I think the timer to come back. I would like to save space. It'll probably be a transparent timer here. And then there'll be none for the last one. Now, with intermission, we now need to copy this. We need to drag it down, right? Ooh, why is it not letting me? There we go. We want intermission video. I think the video is going to cover all of this. Like whatever the ad is, I don't even know if I'm going to have frames. Because in Acrobat, I didn't use frames. There's no frames in any of their art pieces. So I don't know if there's a point to use a frame if they're not using frames. Does that make sense? So I'm thinking I might fill the whole thing and it'll go underneath the title sequence and the timer will both be faded over top. That's my game plan. If that's the case, let's find a video real quick. I'm gonna do, let's go in here. Let's do Kickstarter. Okay. And let's do Weird Wizard. If you have not seen this Kickstarter, by the way, one of my favorite people in game design. I definitely say check it out. So I think I'm just going to screen cap this. Like so. I'm going to come in here, under here. I'm going to paste it. And then we can decide how much of it we want there to be. It'll be like that, right? Playing. And then what we do is for this one, we jack down the opacity. And for this one, we jack down the opacity to like, I'd say 60%. And then we have to decide, do we want there to be a color edge, right, around this? Or do we want it to be filled? Do we want it to actually be more... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Why is this not filling? There we go. Do you want it to be more like that, where it plays the whole ad? Do we like it so you can see it, or do we not want to see it? I don't want to do any frames though, because again, if we go back into Acrobat, let's pull up our reference material. Let's pull up Morpborg English. Okay. There's no frames in this book. And I think I'm going frameless. No, frame is the right word. I think a tattered edge is the closest thing they get to a frame. So I could see masking this in a tattered edge. No, frame border, same thing. You're using the right words. So they have it here, watch. So I can, let's just say we bring this to meet perfectly. And we stretch it. Okay, so like, let's say it looks like that, right? Everything's covered. I can take this. We can go like this. Right? And turn off the fill. We can do the border. We can size it to 5. Maybe 8, actually. And then we can color pick our orange. Right? Like so. And then I'm gonna actually do more. Let's do 11. Okay. And then we can do an inner shadow. I'm gonna have to zoom in for this, I think. No, I can't see it. Drop shadow. So you can see a little bit of a drop shadow here. Right. So let's make it visible. So I could do this and make this a tattered frame that goes around it instead. You know what I mean? So for now, we go like that, and at least it's a note. And then I can make a note here for the tattered frames. So let's let me look at something up here. Let's pull up our here. Let's pull up. Let's see if there's a. We've done enough Corp Talk design. Let's close this. Let's add another page. And then let's see if there is a torn border. And it is colorable. And you'll see what I'm doing in a sec here. Okay. And we'll do it in the color. And I will cut paste. And we'll do this black. And we'll turn down the transparency. And we will send it to the back. Okay? So we could do something like this and add it to that piece, right? And then we can do see all. Add another one. Maybe just the two edges, to be honest with you. Like so. And then what did I make the position transparency? 41. And we do 41. And then we're going to cut paste. And then we're going to do solid color. And then we're going to do this, right? Like that. And then we just do orange torn edges. And then we just export this one as a PNG clear background. Yeah, I get what you're saying. My only concern is when I go to make other videos, those might get in the way. And you'll see when we move into doing the vertical stuff next week why I say that. There is a way around it, but it can become a problem. So we're gonna do PNG, transparent background, just the current page, done, download. But it's easy. If we make it its own piece, you know what I mean? It can be a very easy fix. So we go like this and save it. We come back to here. Let's delete that. And then let's bring our new one in. So we're gonna center it and center it. And it kind of looks like that. Right? And we gotta turn this back though. It's gotta go. And then we gotta like that. So now that means this will have to come in some. I honestly think this is going to make sense. It's about there. Okay. This is a title. I might replace this with a logo instead. I did that. That's what we had originally, remember? So if we go to... Oh, where's my layers at? I think I leave it like this, because if you look at the full layout, it looks like this. Now what's missing is logos. So I know for a fact I'm going to want the EFP logo, which actually I can just get us the logo for. Hold on here. Yeah, I have the logo. I gotta find it. EFP logos. And it may not be this color, right? I don't think there's an ability to recolor it. I don't think. No, there's not. There's not a way to color it here. I'll have to do that in Photoshop. I'll have to make another version. But regardless, cut, paste, paste, paste. Right? Now you have all your logos. And then this one, again, what's our transparency here? 56. This one will need to be 56 as well. Now, the thing I have to remember is whenever we go to this, we're going to do a little something here. I need text. And we're going to need transition in. And then we're going to go like this. We're going to fill this in black. This. Border it. And then... Okay. And then we're going to copy it, and then we're going to do out. So the reason that these have to be transitioned in and out... Oh, fuck. Why can't I see them? Huh. Weird. They changed this. And my other one, I could see them. I might have to do... Weird. I've never had this problem before. They should be visible and attached to this, but they're not. Like, I can see it when I click on it. Well... Dragon Lines overlays. And I want to cut this. I want to go close this here. center. Yeah, Discord was connecting and reconnecting. I don't know why. It was not you. All right, there we go. So now we have our transition in and out, which is important. Like it's the reason being is since this, and this have to be 50% lighter, I can't use nested scenes. Oh, no shit. Time for a new router. My stuff's running at 48 and 54. This was just an internet bullshit thing. We have perfect connection. It was just OBS disconnecting, reconnecting. So now we have this. So we have a title one, and then we honestly have to do this one more time. Because now we need merch. Merch/ads. Right? And then that means we also have to select these again. Group. And then we have to... Now we're going to do ads. So I think for ads, this... Oops. That stays, but this goes away. We delete this. And now for this, we have ad boxes, I think. And I'm just going to do a big square for this. And ads for me are always the same color for my boxes. If you looked at the other one when I was in there, I put ads in green, like so. We need text, and it needs to be ads, merch. Okay, and we're gonna go back to selection. Whoops, let me do that. E. We're gonna center, group, and then we're gonna send back. Like that. So now this will be an ads and merch one. And that's its own as well. I'm gonna go to white bat. I need to pick some more music. So now we have that. So that's our startup, our middle, and our end. This one is going to need a text scroll of some form. So I am going to make that. It's not going to be full. I kind of want it to run here. And I want it to be centered this way. And then for text scroll, I will do an off gray. This is probably going to be a browser source. So I'm going to do purple because that's my indicator for browser source. And then I'm going to do a text. And this will be text scroll, and we'll copy it, and we'll do that, and then we will crunch it together. And then we will boom, and we'll group it, and then we'll slide this backwards like so. And this will be a text scroll that'll happen here at the end that'll turn on and off. The other thing that we need for this is, we're gonna scroll down. I can already tell I'm gonna have to move these out. That's weird. Well, fuck that. I'll just move this thing. It's gonna be a pain. All right. And then I'm gonna copy this, paste it, move it. This might need to be a transition in and out as well. Instead of it saying text scroll, this will then be dates and times. Let's just do this actually. Dates and times next show. So we're gonna shrink this down. Move it down. All right. So that's our rough setup for those three. This is the hard part. I don't know how I'm going to do this yet. I want to give enough room for notes. That's why I'm making these a little larger. Guess I need to do transitions. Well, let's propagate this. Me talking. I think I'm gonna go with this. Right? And then guest cam. Right? And then actually this should be here. And then guest solo. Let's just say it's pink. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean that. Well, I'll use that as a designator. I meant to take that pink off, but or the logo off, but I didn't. Actually, no, I have to do it. I have to take that pink off because it'll get in the way. Let me export this again. Download. PNG. No. Current page. Done. Download. I need to replace the one that's in here. We want to match this name. Save. Yes, replace. All right, delete it. And we're going to pull it back in. Okay. So now let's just say this is the scene colors, right? I like this concept. I don't know what the duo guest cam is going to look like for this one. I guess I could use the... I guess I could use the yellow one down here, let's just say. Just to indicate that we're using different scenes. Okay. And that means that I can cut this, paste it, cut this, paste it. These might get swapped. But then we have them at least. Then we have them. So I'm going to zoom out so we can get a bigger panned out look. $75 is not hot. All right, we know we're going to need this logo on every fucking page. We just don't know where they're going to be on everyone. Okay. And then we need to do... Oh, you don't have AC. Oh, yeah, that should be hot. We do need to talk about the logo of the partner that's on. So let's do this. And let's do a trap shadow on it. And let's add a fill. And I think I did partners in pink. So, right? And I know all of these. Actually, I'm just gonna. I'm gonna add drop shadows to all of these. There is a way to link them so they use the same thing all the time. Like I can make them buttons and shit like that, but that's not the point for this for me. Drop shadows. And now we know that this company logo needs to be on fucking everything. And you start realizing how much real estate you lose. You know what I mean? Literally. Now you gotta think, boy, I gotta do solo cams. So for this one, we're gonna make my cam. I'm gonna make it 1920 by 780. Sorry, 1920 by 1080. My cam is going to be actually grab that eerie green code. Give me a second. I saved it. Allie was kind enough just to give it to me in our chat. Boom. All right, so like we're gonna say this is me. We're gonna add this in, and this is gonna be my cam. Right? I'm gonna go like this, and we're gonna center it, link it, and now we can resky it size and scale. So I see mine kind of covering a good chunk of this screen, like so, right? That's kind of how I'm seeing it. And with the corpse talk moving in the background, it should be fine. And then when it goes from here to here, which is the map, this is where we have to start deciding, what does our map look like? How do we want the map to look? Do we want it to be square? Do we want it to be just a close-up of the dungeon? Do we want it to be something else? Oops. So normally, I would do this. Yeah, the solo cam is big. This is the solo with map. Maps I usually make a different color. I think usually my maps are pink. I'll do this like dark pink, but we're moving to alchemy. So I'm going to do this gold. And then I'm going to do text again. And this is going to be map. Boom, boom, boom. Group. And I can offset them where they're staggered. Like this, right? And I can shove it to the back. It's not a bad look. That gives room for stream loot cards. Not doing an octagon. They are going to have like a tattered edge or some form of a masking over them, though. This is a kind of standard format. Now, if I was 100% honest, if I got to choose, I would make my cam into a vertical. Right? And the map would be like this. I think this is my preferred method, because that lets me have the sponsor in the corner still. I could have Corpse Talk as a title here if I wanted it. The skull could be anywhere I wanted. Right? And now I can just take this map, cut it, put it here, put it here, put it here. All right, be right back. Let me use the bathroom real quick. We'll zoom this out so you can see. So this gives me a decent design. Right. Well, so the way you crop these, if you're wondering how I do this, the way I do this is, let's just take this one, let's bring it over here, I'll paste it, we're gonna center it in the center of the page, right? All you do is you bring the two sides in and crop it. And you bring it all the way into center. And I am doing something that's a little different for this, which I haven't discussed yet. Those animated pieces that you see in the background, like if I turn this off. Hold on. If I turn off let me turn this red. Let me bring this all the way down. So this animation, those pieces, I'm going to make separate. I'm doing that wrong. It should be like this. They're going to be separate, and they're going to go over top of the picture frame. So there will be animated text over my frame and stuff as I'm talking. It's going to be a video piece that plays on loop above it with a transparent background. So that isn't, those are just samples of the movement, but they're probably going to like shake and move, and like they're going to have the static lines that like static line them. So for example, if you look in the upper right now, and I'll blow it up, you can see this actually has static lines on it. See how it kind of moves? And you can see the static lines forming. I have a filter that lets me do that, and I'm going to use that for the corpse talk and static line it. And there's going to be random splatters that show up on the screen and stuff like that as well. Just so that makes sense. I think it's going to be pretty cool, to be honest with you. So where... And then transform, or start transition. Luma wipe. Cloud, inverse. Okay. So anyway, that's the game plan. To give some movement. So this piece here is just literally my center cam. And now it'll also, I'll shrink it down some and do some other things to it as well. But it'll allow me to do some fun stuff. And then over here, we have the cam and info screen, right? So what I'll do is I'll cut this out, I'll bring it over here and I'll paste it. And then I got to decide, how do I want info to be presented? I like this. I think it looks good. I could move the cam so it's not there. So what we do is we copy this. We know our info cam is going to be something like this. We do this as browser or info. And then we put this up and we center this shit, right? And then we go like this, select this, and we center them together. And then we change this one. This has to be purple because that's what color I use for my browser sources in OBS. Oh shit, wrong thing. Okay. So now I have to decide, do I keep this like this or do I change it up a little bit? And I have an idea. Since this is probably going to be a torn page, I'm really tempted to blow this up, bring it in, and have the tattered page and this slide out from behind it. So essentially, I'll go like this. I'll send it back. Okay. And then I'm going to do a semi-opacity on this so that I know it's layered. And it'll slide out from underneath it during the show. That's my game plan for that. For the map. For that piece. Because I think that could look kind of cool. So I want to go look back at Mork Borg. Let's save this. I want to look through Mork Borg again. And see if there's something in the design philosophy that I can do to make this work. I'm thinking a lot of faded edges for screens where things can show through. I want movement. I fucking love this. I may take this. I might take that image and use that to where it bleeds to the map. Wouldn't this be a cool frame? Like a cool frame for Corpse Talk? For like that camera frame? Where you're behind it? Especially for the death scene. Let me see something. It's just his boot. Okay. I'm gonna have to draw it. Because it's just showing his boot, because the way... Yeah. Such a weird... Such a weird way that it does this. So I'll have to draw this. I like this idea. I'm gonna make a note in here. Let's do... Let's do it here, actually. We have our checklist. I don't think anything else has... No, nothing else has it. Okay, so let's do it here. I'm gonna go like this. This is the Stream Elements checklist, main checklist. And then I'm going to put an ideas. What page is this on? 13. So, org, page 13. Black splatter. As black splatter as possible frame concept to map concept that connects to map/info pages. All right, boom. We're gonna redo this as a 2, redo this as a 2, redo this as a 1. Oops. Done. All right. Cool concept. Love it. I think that's what I'm going to do. Which makes these really filling and they look good together. I like that. So now we get down to the solo cams. Guest. So we're going to cut this. We're going to go like this. We're going to change the color to the guest. The guest is going to be one of the company. We will color match the pink and darken it. No. Lighten it. And that's the guest frame. Okay. I like this. I think it's good. I think for the map one, though, I actually want to move it over to here. Right? I want to copy my cam. I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to move it here. You see what I'm doing, right? Okay. And now it's reversed. So when this one to this one moves, there'll be a move transition. So now I'm going to go up here. I'm going to cut this, paste this, move this. And then move. Oh, sorry, whoops. Transition move. Let's change this line. Oops, I didn't do that. There's a plugin I'm using too that doesn't normally exist in here. There we go. We want this to be kind of want a straight line. How do I want to do this? Yeah, no, I did that right. Yeah. Okay, like this. Transition move between these two. Because that'll give me swapping. I think this one should swipe out left. This will swipe left. And then this will swipe in from the left. So it'll be like a push out, a slide, and a pull in. Maybe actually... Yeah, I think I like that better. Hold on here. Straight. Arrow. What arrow is this? Arrow 2. 12 sides. 12. So this will go up, right? We'll cut this. And this will go down. Like that. And this map, I usually handle my move transitions like this, so I have an idea when I'm going into OBS how I want them to work. And it'll slide in. Come on, you piece of shit. Like that. Cut it. Paste it. And that slides that way. All right. So now we have our movement for our move transitions. And I think for browser info, I think we basically do the same thing here. Grab browser info. We cut it. We paste it. Today is August 17th. So the first thing that happened is it told me that Elgato, well, actually the first thing that happened was Chrome stopped. Right? Chrome stopped. That was the first thing. You guys all back? We all here still? So Chrome stopped. And it specifically was YT. But then the Elgato controller crashed. And after the Elgato controller crashed, it rebooted the computer. So there is something wrong with the Elgato controller. I've had this problem in the past. This usually comes from a software update that needs to be done. That's good. And a lot of times it's being caused by account switching. So that was good. I just checked OBS. Let's check Elgato sound. Check for updates. Okay, it's up to date as well. No, I mean, these problems happen, and I reboot after every show. So I finished watching paint dry today, and I rebooted. And I always reboot to kind of buffer everything. But this was an Elgato crash this time, which is not typical. Sometimes it's Discord. I will say 80% of my crashes are Discord related. Like 1000% Discord related. It's fucking annoying. But live and you learn. So anyway, let's get XD back up and running. Because, I mean, I'm barely using any of the processing power for the PC. Like, it's not over the top. Okay. Let me turn this back on for y'all. So let's make sure everything's saved. Yeah, we're good. So guest cam, what I was trying to do, lower the opacity. 91. All right. So now we have these set up. They mirror each other. They move. So this slides in. I think we grab this again. I think it slides off. I think we do the same thing for the browser pages. Right? And that slides in and out from underneath the guest cam. That's my thought. So now we can shove these behind these. Right, just to get us our video pieces. It's pretty clean. So now we get into duo cams. And there's a few ways to look at this. So we're going to do this. I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to paste it as well. So duo cams, I have ideas for duo cams. And the first one is a staggered cam, like this, where the guest is smaller for one of them, right? Like so. And we put this one behind that. And we do like a cool page tear here or something to kind of like hide it, right? And then we do a second one, which I'm going to drag this way, because this is me focused, right? And then we do one that is the opposite, where we do the sizings. Actually, I can just do it this way. 897 by 993. 897 by 993. That's the wrong things. I did the wrong things. I'm a dummy. 897 by 505. Okay. And then whatever this one is, 1259 by 709. Okay. And then we do this. And then let's recenter these. And then same thing, we would do that. So now you have this cool like back and forth where they'd slide and change positions, which I'm not opposed to this. I'm not opposed to this. I think this could be cool. The other one I had in mind, this is getting into the weeds a little bit here. We are going to move all of these. We're gonna grab these. The other idea I had is to use these and do double verticals, which I think, to be honest, I think this is my preferred one, because I think it's cleaner. We do double verticals like this, right? We move them in a little bit. Okay. About like that. Like that. Drop this back. The reason being is, then I can do stat block stuff. Or question stuff. Or chat feed in the middle. I just don't know if I want chat feed there for going out and I don't know if I want chat feed in the middle when I'm trying to edit things into verticals. But I do like this. I do like the vertical look. Because horizontals don't fit well together. You know what I mean? Like, they just don't. You gotta stack them. Or you gotta fucking play with them. There's so much dead space. But I feel like I could do this. Right. Well, the problem is, a lot of my questions are not pre-written. Some of them are. But not all of them are. You know what I mean? Maybe for the main topic ones I could. If I went like this, right? And let's say I did a... Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. So this is the Morkboard character generator. Right? It just makes it. What if... What if this information here was here? So, like, watch. What if this was there? And then this is here. And then let's do this in... Just so they're a different color. And then the character sheet info is in yellow, right? I gotta pick this color actually. Okay, is that right? Just realized my color coding wasn't continued. Okay. So what if this was night stats and where the fuck did it go? Fuck is it going? What the fuck? There we go. Okay. And this is topic, question, or message. Okay? Which is important in this. All these things are going to come up. Like that. I like this. This is super clean. It's a little crowded, but I kind of like the busyness. Obviously, it's going to be framed differently. This is, I think, the winner right now. This is the clear winner right now for me. These are possible just for chat cams. I like this too. And I can easily make all of these. So then we get into this, though. Right? So we have a couple options here. We can do this. Right? And we slap it down. Then we match this size. 745 by 420. 745 by 420. Okay. Right? No, I mean, and for the Mork Borg design, everything is a little crowded. So I'm kind of fine with it. So you go like that. Right? I kind of dig this. And then I think, to be honest with you, I'm tempted to just blow this bitch way up. And put it underneath it all. Like so. And kind of keep the map like this and cover this other side. Because over here is, can be anything. You know what I mean? You're not going to see it. But I like the double overlay here, like this. And then I think if you add, for example, you got a drop shadow. Now you got this little drop shadow. Like so. That'll help when once we do it in the other game. Right? And now you got a dual map. And then we need our dual map, our dual cam info. Bring this over here. Put it behind this. And I think this is the same effect. But browser info is different because you're reading text. I don't think you can hide it the same. I feel like if I hide the browser info the same way I am the map info, we're going to run into some issues. But oh, hold on. Bingo. And you do that. And now this one, this will transition really well with this. So much so. You go like that. And now you can see how those will slide together. Those will shrink and that'll come in. And then I think the way this happens, I think it slides in from the background and kind of goes and splats into the page. And now you have a good info page. And I like the overlays like that. And this down here, for guest 2, basically, we can delete this, and it is just a duplicate of these. So we can go like this, go like this, and we can duplicate all these, right? Cut this, and then we just replace these. Okay. This is going to be the one that's weird, though. So, when we have 2 guests, we can't do this. You know what I mean? So that means for the 2 guests, we got to do something like this. Or this. And we do a browser one next to it like that. Which we may have to do. I think I have to. I might have to do that. These can go away, though. So this is the process, everybody. This is what it looks like as I am grinding these things out and designing these. Makes sense? Like, it's definitely a thought flow. You know what I mean? It's definitely about making sure when I'm doing this that I am able to see what I'm doing before I start doing my overlays. Because if I don't do it this way, I end up with a hodgepodge, and I'm doing a lot more graphical corrections. And graphical corrections take fucking time. So if I do it this way, there's no time. It's just done, right? It's just done. Why is this not going away? What is it mad about? There we go. So this is kind of what this looks like. And you can see a little bit of the process. So we'll quickly go through this. I think this works pretty well. So you got our title sequence that gives us some graphical areas. The only thing I haven't decided is if StreamLoots, sorry. The only thing I haven't decided is if StreamLoots is going to go on any of this. Where, how I want to do it, and so on. Because during the live show, while I love the idea of using the StreamLoot cards, I don't like the idea of them interrupting the show. Unless I end up doing a really chaotic show. And if I do, that's perfect. If I don't, I kind of feel like I'm shooting myself in the foot by interrupting audience members with sound from StreamLoot cards. With that said, I want to use it for some stuff. So, we have our title, clean, works. Intermission, clean, works. Our intermission moves down to these ones here, which allows us to add both a video, for example, or an ads and merch area, example. These will probably be slides, video, GIF, something along those lines to emphasize. I'm definitely going to be adding sound bites and a soundboard to this one because I don't have as much camera movement in this. I don't have 5 people. I don't need a whole matrix, so I'm going to get like the Crypt Keeper noise and things like that. For sure. Yeah, they can be a bit much for certain shows, so I might turn them off for the show. There is a way just to mute all the sound. From there, we have our end, title, text scroll, and dates and times for the next show. I need to make these very easy to update. These 3 have to be transitions in and out because they have no matching data that needs to slide on the screen. Everything else can be a move transition. Move, move, move. If it's named title, the title slides. If it's named timer, timer slides. If it's a logo, the logo slides. You get how this works. And then this here is the logo for our guest. So that'll slide as well. I didn't add it on this one. I probably should. I should also add guest logo to this just to be safe. I'm gonna go like this. GlowGo. 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 I'm gonna cut it. Let's add it to all of these. Because I never moved them. And these are things that may move depending on the layout of the show, but for now, they don't. Done. Okay. So now we have our glows. We're good. Our GlowGos. GlowGo. Let me add this to it. We are going to group it, copy it, and I'm going to add it here and here just so I have it. So we have that. We're done. Solo cam me. Solo cam guest. Easy. Boom. Full screen. I may even blow these all the way out. It just depends on how it looks. Maybe I'll just add the frames like we talked instead on the side, and I'll do color frames. So maybe I'll do a pink, a black, and make them match. Or I can have just an overlay piece that goes over top that cuts it out. My cam map, all of our move transitions are in there. Same for the guest one. Then we have cam browser. Browser's going to slide in and out of underneath it, so you can't see it. So it'll kind of slide and hide. Basically go off screen with transitional work. Then we have the duo, me guest, them being larger, me being larger, split map, split browser info, split topic, and night stats. This might go in a lot of places. Might be a card I hit that just pops on the screen for X amount of time and then goes away. Because I love the idea of being able to activate that whenever I want for people to see the stats. The stats will also be in the chat link. I'm going to see if there's a way to make them update as I'm playing. On top of that, we have, in case they have 2 guests, this one and this one, this one and this one. These we're going to have to look at redoing because if there's 2 of them, I can't do verticals with 2 people unless I maybe split it in the middle and just put 2 heads in that box. That might work. There is another element that's going to go over top of all these. It's a green screen element when we get further in the season as something gets added. And it'll go over the entire screen, allowing the person or thing that is involved to be anywhere on the screen at any given time. Don't ask. It's going to be fucking wild. I'm super excited for it. So that's the layout. This is the show. This is the browser. So now my next phase, finish the overlay, right? And now that this is done, I can move all of this stuff to here. And then this can move back to here, right? And then we're going to copy it, paste it, and then we're gonna have another move transition. Very important. So that's gonna be the next piece that I do is these move transitions. I feel that the overlay, I should say, not move transitions, but overlay transitions. I think these will look really good. This is kind of our full setup, our full show dossier for all of our screens. It's a lot. Everybody, this is what we did in 2 hours roughly with 2 OBS crashes because I'm doing a lot of showcasing things at the same time, which causes stuff to crash. But this is the process how I do my overlays, and now I'll take these, I'll export them all, I'll put them down to a low opacity, and then I will put them in Photoshop and start building out all these pieces. And you got to remember, we've done a lot of that already, because we've been in here developing all of these as we go. So we already have a pretty good template for stuff that we need. And I can even export these out as individual PNGs and put them together. So we have a really good set piece. And then of course today, it's a lot of work. And of course today, I made this today in case you guys didn't see it. Let me mute this sound. Hold on. Did you guys hear this yet? So watch this. This is the live ad today. Super fun. Made this before the show. That's the ad for Design Days. I think it'll be fun. This is going to be a really over-the-top show, everybody. I'm going to be doing kind of my ShockJock mentality for this as interviews. I'm super excited. I'm getting the rules together over the weekend. I'll start all of the Photoshop stuff over the weekend. And this is kind of where we are. Like, this is a good stopping point today. I'll be back tomorrow, which is Friday. I'm doing this every weekday because I got to have this done by the end of the month. So I'll be back again for a couple hours. Tomorrow, we're going to work on probably the rules of the game. I want to make sure I have all my notes. I want to make sure I know how everything works. I have a meeting at 3 with one of the VTTs talking about if they can add a feature or have a feature that I needed to do. And we'll get back into doing this, to being able to play games and streaming. And then we'll get into the nitty gritty, which I know everybody wants, which is me screen sharing the video so you all can see how I do OBS. And that'll be next. I'll be screen sharing OBS so you can all see how I build it out, which involves me putting OBS over here, gutting it, and putting everything here. So since I have not set this up yet, we are going to do this live. For those who don't know. So tomorrow we will kick things off probably at 5 tomorrow instead of 4. I'll try to make it 4:30. We'll try to kick things off by 4 because I have a meeting at 3. I want to see if we can get that in. So if we do this by 4, we'll go 4 to 6 again. We'll start doing the design of the game, diving into Morkboard, making sure we know the rules, develop those rules for Corpse Talk. I already have a piece in the back that we're going to use. So if you want to see more of this tomorrow and you're watching this on YouTube later, there'll be a notification that goes out. Click the bell for alerts. On this side, there's going to be the lovely thing you should ping. We want 8 800, 500 people to follow, so we can open up private stuff here. Also getting like our super chats and emojis and all that kind of stuff added. Then over on that side is gonna be a video to watch, probably yesterday's design. This is a live show. You'll notice that everything is in process of being built, that nothing is finished yet, and we are gonna continue doing it this way until the show is finished. And you'll see the process of how something is built. Thank you for watching today for another Design Days, and I'll see you all tomorrow. We'll say 4 p.m. We'll get our butts in here, and we'll get right back in designing. Have a great day, everybody, and I'm gonna go to the pet store as quick as I can before the